It's showtime. We're live.
Sorry,
All
we were
right.
sitting there just talking to each other like, oh, it's time to go live.
Maybe we
How's
should
there?
maybe we should like focus on this.
The things like flashing at showtime up in the right corner. We're not even seeing it. How's
Yeah.
everybody
Oh,
doing tonight? What day?
everybody's doing good. We got Alan Sexter in here, Robin's in here, low budget, high limit, the lovely Susan, that guy Proud Monkey,
That guy.
Michelle, Penny Pinching, Club Mike
The
V in
guy
the
we can't
house.
get rid of. Yeah.
He's like herpes.
Oh,
Snap.
family show.
That's a medical term.
I could spout off some other medical terms, but I'm not going to do it. Oh man,
All
that's too
right.
funny.
So I'm going to jump right into our big announcement, which is if you have not seen the video put out today, we're raising money for NJ Slot Guy. He is in the hospital. I'm going to briefly describe what's going on. He has a cerebral fluid leak, along with a clot that is in his brain. And we are really hoping he pulls through. He's doing great right now. He's in great spirits. He has been in the hospital for about 3 weeks. And we started this fundraiser. I think I got done with it around a little after noon. And so we're like 9 hours in, and we raised $27,000. So in lieu of any super chats, super stickers, anything, go donate to NJ's GoFundMe. Susan's going to be putting that link in the chat. $1, $5, $10, whatever you can to help this guy out. This is really going to help. I don't know all of his bills. He did tell me that one of his hospital visits was $10,000 alone. And you can never assume what kind of insurance anyone has. I hope he has good insurance because he needs a specialist that they're going to have to fly in for this. So I'm really hopeful that we can do this. We've already done a great job. People, keep it up. Keep donating. Send it to your friends, everything else. This guy is absolutely a glue that holds this community together. He is the person who's always there helping the little guy. He helped us when we were nothing, and he's just that great of a person. And so we're just really happy that we could be raising money for him, but we really wish him a speedy recovery more than anything else.
Absolutely. And I mean, we've had overwhelming support today, which it really made my day. Like, it started off pretty negative because we heard the news, and it was, we kind of knew. I was talking to NJ last night. We knew something bad was going on, but Dave and I was like, well, we got to do something about it. Like, we got to help this brother out because he's helped us out. He's helped the community out. Like Dave said, it only seems right. And guys, it's not like, we got some very hurtful comments today, which I was really surprised to see. But the thing is that, especially for you guys that live here in the United States, you can have the best insurance in the world, and you're still going to be out potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars for a specialist. I mean, he was saying he's going to have to go 3 to 4 states over in order to even get to the specialist. It's that unique of a situation. And, we want to do, the money's just part of the thing, but it's bringing the community together and helping somebody so that they don't have to think about it. Like, all we want him to think about right now is getting better. We don't want him to have to make a decision. Well, I can't afford the specialist. My insurance saying they won't cover it. We don't want him to have to ever think about those things. And we would want the same for any of you also. So, he's very important to us. He's very important to the community, like Dave said. So every little bit helps. And we really do appreciate all the positive feedback that we got today. And for those guys that posted negative stuff, guess what? You're banned from the channel now because we don't want you around here anyway. I hate to say that, but if you're going to be like that, you're not welcome here. NJ's a good guy, and he deserves it. So, all right. Couple of other things. And guys, again, thank you for anything. Like Dave said, please don't send us any super chats, any super stickers, no gifted subs, none of that stuff tonight. If you want to do anything, please go to the link gsgs.live/NJ and give him the money. But we really wanted to go there. If you give it to us, we will be happy to give it to him, but YouTube's going to take a big chunk out of it. We don't want that either. We want him to get every dollar that you decide to donate, right? So let's do that. Let's stand up and help a brother whenever he needs it, and that's what we're going to do. So thank you so much, everybody, for jumping in today. It really turned the day around for me, especially personally.
Yep, absolutely, yeah. Because it's like as soon as I had the site up for maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes, and donations started rolling in. So it was awesome.
It was absolutely amazing.
And every time I send NJ an update, he is just like, he can't believe it. He's just like, like, I can't be this famous. And I'm like, well, you're not, but you are that loved. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not that famous, but you are that loved.
Yeah, exactly. So Dave's right. Thank you, everybody, very much. All right. So a couple other announcements. If you saw our video today, we do want to remind everybody about the WinStar event that's coming up on February 22nd. It's Saturday. For everybody, it's going to be at 8 p.m. Central Time in the Rome non-smoking room. I guarantee you will find us in there. There's going to be.
You will not be able to miss us.
Yeah, if there's not a lot of people there, you'll at least hear Dave shouting and talking. So you'll be able to find.
You can't miss me. That's how Liz
in case you're interested, we still have probably around 10 spots left on the VIP meet and greet, which is occurring 2 hours previous to that. So at 6 p.m., anybody who wants to be part of the VIP meet and greet, the tickets are $25 for each person. And again, we only have about 10 spots left. If you're interested in that, you're going to get to have kind of a, intimate meet and greet in the governor's suite at WinStar. We're going to bring snacks and stuff up, drinks for everybody. And we'll just have a good couple of hours to meet you in person and talk to you and things like that. So if you're interested in that, the link for that is gsgs.live/WinStar. If you want to buy that ticket. So again, it's $25. It's just, we're not making any money off it. In fact, we're losing money on it because of the cost of the room and all the drinks and stuff, but it helps mitigate some of the costs. So we really do appreciate it and hope you guys can make it because we're going to have a lot of fun. And finally, last one, and then we'll get to questions. So start asking the questions now. I see Dave already starting them up, so that's great. Don't forget, Downtown Grand in Las Vegas, in the downtown area. If you go up to the counter, the rewards desk, mention that Gamble Smart, Gamble Safe sent you, and they're going to give you two things. And we got confirmation on this. I know somebody said it was one or the other. We got confirmation it's both. You get both of these things, which is really unheard of. So you're going to get $50 in match play, which is more than we ever got in the LVA.
$50 in free play.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, so $50 in match play, $15.
Yeah, $50 in match play, which is more than we ever got on the LVA book, for example. So that's crazy. And then also $15 in free slot play. And I don't think it matters if you're already a member or not. You'll probably only be able to do this once. But if you've been there and you already have a card, still go and ask, and they'll give it to you. So there you go. And please do that if you're around.
And they are working on a discount code that will be 15% off their best rate. So we'll be getting that soon. Actually, one of the questions that came up from Al Hall was, we need a meet and greet at the newly renovated El Cortez. Actually, if this works out, our next meet and greet will be at Downtown Grand for G2E.
Yep.
And we are we're really looking forward to that. And they're looking forward to us being there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we loved it. I mean, we came across or came away from that property kind of, wow, I think we found our home. That's kind of what we decided when we looked at it, because it's just, I mean, quarter wheel of fortune, 5-line, all the game. I mean, top dollar was in quarter, pinball was in quarter
with $5 minimum.
Yeah, they've got it. It's for our audience, right? We're budget builders here. We're low betters, most of us.
Yep.
And it's really a prime location for that. So, and the staff was very friendly and all that. So we highly recommend them. And please go and use that, because the more people that do, we can get on their radar, and then we can start doing some big events there. And that's what we really want to do more than anything, to get you guys out there and have some fun. So, all right, Dave, let's jump in. Let's get to some questions. Oh, I did see one real quick. Sorry, Dave. Match play is basically, if it's $50 in match play, that means you go to like a roulette table or blackjack. I don't think they stipulated which you had to do.
Even money bets.
Even money bets. So I would recommend roulette. And what you do is you basically put $50 of your own money down on a color, right? Red or black. And then they will give you $50 on top of that for free. So if you end up winning, you're going to walk away with $200, right? So you're
Well,
getting
they
an
take
extra
away,
$50.
they subtract, you'll walk away with $150 because they take away that $50 match play.
Oh, the $50 match play.
Yeah,
That's right.
you don't
Yeah, so
actually win
$150.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
so
right.
150 bucks.
Yeah,
For
you're
$50,
right.
you win 150. So
That's right. That's
still
right.
pretty good.
Very good. All right, now on to some questions.
All right, so from Linda K, what happened to your eyes, Dave? So you might have missed the live stream last week. I had LASIK surgery. Well, I didn't have LASIK surgery, but in the process of having LASIK surgery, a little bit too much pressure got put on my eye, caused some blood vessels to burst, but it is healing really well. It will be done hopefully by next week's live stream. It's 100% better than it was. It was very dark red before. Like I felt like I was in a comic
Yeah,
book.
we were joking last week that he had a bionic eye because it didn't look real.
Never been to El Cortez. Oh, you got to check out El Cortez.
Especially now, it's totally different. I saw a video walkthrough of it. It's nice. All right. All right. So Adam Stevens says, on a machine that doesn't say the higher you bet, the better chance to win jackpots, does that mean you have the same chance betting 75 cent versus 450? It's a little fuzzy, actually. Most games will tell you this, but how do I make this a short reply?
You can't.
I know I can. It depends on the. I'm going to give you an example of a game. We were just playing Huff and Puff on our member live, and essentially, if you change your bet size and the progressives at the top, like the grand and the major, do not change, then that is the case. Like if you bet higher, you're more likely to get those progressives because your bet size is closer to that progressive amount. Does that make sense? So if that happens, then yes, betting higher will increase your chances of hitting the progressives. But when it comes to other games where they say, well, increase bonus chance or increase progressive chance or anything like that, it's so minimal and minute that I would not go outside of your comfort zone chasing that, thinking that you have some kind of, huge increased chance, because it could be 0.001% better chance, and they can put that on there saying that it is a better chance. Does that make sense? Always stay within your budget range, what you're comfortable with playing, and don't fall victim to betting higher. That's what every manufacturer wants now, and they're building this into the games. Is they're trying to push everybody higher and higher in their denominations, and they do that by putting things like this in the game rules, and also increasing that minimum bet. Like it used to be 45 credits, and now it's 100, or 200. I've seen some that are even higher than that for the minimum bets when they used to be a lot lower. So it's that push to get people to bet more and more, even when it's minimum bets. So, all right. Thank you for your question. Good one. That was relatively quick, right?
Relatively quick. There we go. From Penny Pinching, will you send out more info the closer to the event prior to the day of for the VIP visiting? Yes, we absolutely will. We'll send out like a quick little, here's what's going on. Here's where to meet us. We're going to have a list of everybody who bought tickets, so we'll know who it is. We'll send out probably a couple days before, just so everybody has that info and all that. Maybe the week before.
Yeah, I think, definitely probably a week before. We have all your email addresses if you buy the ticket, so we will send out instructions on where to meet us and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll probably get your phone number in case we can't find you or whatever. We'll give you a text and say, hey, meet us over here, and we'll take you up, things like that. But yeah, keep an eye out on your email if you did purchase one of those tickets, and we'll definitely get all the information out to you ahead of time.
There's a good one from Adam G. Are you guys going to do a video on advantage play for slots? Sounds too good to be true, but I keep hearing other YouTubers saying it's a good idea. I think we will do a video, but I necessarily don't want to do a video because advantage players are very particular, and I know we're going to get something wrong. We're not going to subscribe to the websites that show you a bunch of the info and a bunch of the games. We're not going to get into all those different groups and all that to try to gather that info because they're a very tight-knit pay to enter community. So that's kind of the drawback for it, but we might show you some examples of advantage slots. We have before, but we've never done a dedicated video on it. But yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I agree with Dave on that. Like I've I've been the same as him. I've purposely avoided that topic
Hmm.
for a couple reasons. One, it's starting to go away. Like the industry is backing off away from that, and so it may not be around in the next 5 years. It may not be a thing anymore. But second, we don't want you to get caught up in thinking that it's an advantage play when it's not, or because it's very specific. It's very specific scenarios in which it's considered plus expected value. And we don't know all of them. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what all of them are. I know what some of them are, some of the games, but I don't know what all of them are. And so we don't want to, like Dave said, we don't want to give you the wrong information and then you suddenly think you're advantage playing a slot machine and then you get wrecked, right? And even people that, I mean, really what you need in order to be a true advantage player is have a pretty large bankroll, because you need to be able to sit down in a machine that has that expected value of the positive expected value and be able to sit there and not move until you get what you need to get, whether it's a progressive or a bonus round or whatever the case is. And so you have to have higher than normal bankrolls, and that's not really what our channel's about, right? We're talking about lower bankrolls, things like that. So it doesn't really jive with what we're trying to do. And so I've kind of avoided it too. But if we end up doing it, we're going to get an expert on that is an advantage player, and he or she can walk you through everything, what he does, what she does, about all the different machines and all that. But it's not going to come from us. Like, I'm just going to be real. It's not, because we don't do that. We don't do advantage play. I don't want to carry around big bankrolls and sitting down stalking people, waiting for them to get off the machine. That's not what I do, you know.
No, because we're gonna get cigars and we're gonna be smoking right behind them, puffing a bunch of smoke at them.
Yeah, that's a funny, actually a real story. So I asked as one of the slot attendants at WinStar one time, I'm like, what's the deal with all these? We call them snipers or scalpers, where they're going around looking for the must hit by machines that are in a plus EV state, right? And I started talking to them, and they were like, "Oh, we cannot stand them." Like they said that one thing that puts the biggest smile on their face is when it goes all the way to the end, because they know they probably didn't get their, plus EV. But she said there's crazy stories of they'll sit down next to somebody that's on the machine they want to play, and they'll light a cigar and start blowing it in their face and stuff, and they can't do anything about it.
Flicking ash at them too.
Yeah, it's just that's not good. That's just not good. I know not all advantage players are like that, so don't get me wrong. I know a lot of you watch us that are advantage players. This isn't a generalization. We just say there are some that are like that, and
they're the ones giving you guys a bad name.
Exactly right.
That's
exactly
pretty much
right.
what it is.
That's a good way to
put it. It's probably a small contingent, but they're giving you a bad name. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And
Irene says we call the people that haunt players waiting to leave casino vultures. I like that.
That's not pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one here from Franklin Woods. Watching a show today where the Texas governor is open to allowing sports betting, also is open to conversation about resort-style casinos. Fingers crossed for future here in Texas. Thoughts on it? So, Franklin, this is a little more complicated than that. The most powerful person in Texas politics is actually Lieutenant Governor. The reason this is because Lieutenant Governor essentially gets to decide what happens on the Senate floor here in the state. The second most powerful person in the legislative process is the scheduler. They're the person who puts what is going to be voted on the schedule. As it comes out of committee, it has to go on a schedule. The last several sessions, things like casino gambling, legalizing marijuana have been left off of the schedule, specifically because of the scheduler. Dan Patrick, who's Lieutenant Governor, has said there's not enough legislators who wanted this to happen, so we're not going to have the conversation. So it doesn't matter how many people he's saying want it. If their elected legislators aren't pushing for it, they're not even going to have the conversation. The other reason this is a big deal is because when the governor is out of the state, the lieutenant governor has both lieutenant governor powers and the powers of the governor, making them the most powerful person in the state by far. So it is very possible that we will not see resort style gambling conversation happening until we, as the voters, contact our elected people and say, listen, our elected representatives, you need to start pushing for this. I have personally gone to my representative, Charlie Guerin, and I've said, I want resort style gambling. He is completely behind this, and other people told him the same. and he is pushing for that. He has put a bill in last session, but until that happens, we will not see resort style gambling nor sports betting. It has to be a constitutional amendment, and even then is a pretty slim chance. My Texas
keep waiting.
politics rant right there.
There you go. Well, it's true. Tommy says they have 2 credit top dollar and quarters. So he's talking about downtown Grand.
Yeah.
No, they have them in dollars. They have an old school regular top dollar that was 2 credits in top dollar, although they removed one of those, remember?
Yeah, they removed one.
And then they have the new 5-line double top dollar that's in quarters. So that'd be 6 quarters a bet. So they do have that one. Which is $1.50, right? So they do have that one. Those are the only ones that they have there.
All right, here's one from Low Budget High Limit Slots talking about craps. Dave, pass line or don't pass, 6 or 8 or 4 and 10. If you don't understand craps, you're probably lost. I do have a video coming out on craps, but essentially, I'm all pass line. I don't believe in don't pass because those guys are dicks. I'm all 6 and 8 because more likely to have it out. I realize the odds aren't as good, but I'd rather place the 6 and 8 rather than buy the 4 and 10 and pay the commission. There we go. Now that was code for everybody else.
I had no idea what you just said. I'm looking forward to this video too, Dave. Oh man. Jason says, do you consider Phoenix Link as an advantage play game because of the counter? That is correct. That is certainly what you would classify an advantage game because of that counter. It has to hit by a certain number, right? So it's basically a number. It's in the kind of the top right there, and every time a Phoenix ball or whatever lands, it adds to that number, but it must hit by a certain number. So the higher that is, especially if it's really close to that must hit by, that would be considered a plus EV to sit down and play. I don't know what the magic number is. Again, I don't know, but if it's high, it's probably a good time to play it. But that's also not just an advantage play, but just a smart play. We were talking about this the other day too, where it was like, there are sometimes just smarter plays. Like if you see progressives and there's 4 machines and they're all Dragon Links, for example, and each of the progressives are different, which is the way it is on that game. You need to sit down and play the one that's the highest, not because the odds are any different. The odds are the same of hitting a progressive on all of those, but you might as well sit down at the one that has the highest progressive on it, right? Like that's not an advantage play. It's just a smart play. So even if the number counter on that one isn't high, still I would play the one that is the highest, right? Because your chances are increasing of getting it because of that, right? So, but again, it still requires bankroll. You got to have it to be able, and then you feel stuck. Like that's my problem with these advantage plays is that you have to commit. Like if you think it's high enough and it's reached that value, you have to commit and you have to have the bankroll to commit until you get that prize or that award. And if you can't do that, then you're actually worse off doing that because then you're just chasing it, right? So you have to be very dedicated to be an advantage player and understand exactly when you need to play and how much bankroll you need and what you can expect to get back. It's a very specific science for each game. It's different for each game. All right, enough about advantage play. There's my rant on that.
All right, good one here from Michael here. Who introduced each of you to gambling? So I'm ready to go with this while Mark thinks about his. So my grandmother on my father's side, the most church-going woman that I will ever know. Okay, this was the woman who would sit in the front row and sing all the hymns, say the amens, and everything else. We were on a road trip. I remember this very clearly. I'm 9 years old. We're on a road trip back from visiting some family. We were at Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, through Texas, all that scene where my grandmother grew up in Texas in the Panhandle. And we're headed straight in my uncle and aunt's RV, and we go to Laughlin. My grandmother takes us out of the RV and goes straight to a slot machine and starts gambling. And I was like, what? What? So that's how I got introduced to gambling. It was right there.
There it is. That will do it.
It will. Yep.
I think for me, it's funny you mention it because I'm not stealing it from you, but it is correct that my grandmother used to buy me as kids lottery scratch-off tickets. So I blame you, Grandma, for getting me hooked. She used to always buy them for Christmas, and because my grandparents owned a confectionery store with like magazines and lottery and stuff like that. So she would always buy me lottery tickets, and I guess I got a little hooked on them back then. And there we go.
Lottery tickets are bad.
Oh yeah, they're horrible. They're horrible. You're way off better in a casino, believe it or not.
Oh, you actually are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
That's
mean, the
what's
math proves
crazy.
it. Yep. All right. Let's see.
Go back and find this one.
Mercedes Betts says, "Hi, new fan from Louisiana. Well, thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it. I have heard a preference for 2-coin versus 3-coin top dollar in pinball. Is this true for all low volatility games and denoms?" Well, top dollar and pinball are a little bit different
A
because
little different.
a 2-coin max bet version gets the bonus and a 3-coin max bet gets the bonus, but the bonus average is roughly the same. So you really should try to find the 2-credit one if you can. The frequency of the line hits and everything is exactly the same no matter which one you're playing. So if you can bet less and activate the bonus, that's the best thing that you can look for, in my opinion. And that's true for top dollar and pinball. Now, for other games, it's totally different. Some games, like if you were to play a 5-line double diamond, you really don't want to play just a single pay line on that one, because where the return to player is those getting the 3 double diamonds on any of those other pay lines that you may not be covering. And so you want to always be able to cover everything that's possible in that game. So that's kind of how I would approach that. But again, always look at the game rules and see what you're giving up by not max betting. It's very critical you do that. We've seen, gosh, I watched this video again, Dave. I need to send it to you. I don't think I've sent it to you, where somebody on Wheel of Fortune was not betting 5 credits. They were betting 1 credit, and they got the 3 Wheel of Fortunes.
You did send that to me.
I did send that. So
and they won like $700 something dollars.
They won $1,500, and they would have won a little over 1.2 million if they were betting max.
Oh, it makes
the same result would have come up on the spin. The same exact result would have come up. It didn't do that because they weren't betting max on that particular game. And so, I mean, that's a heartbreaker. Winning 1,500 instead of 1.2 million because you didn't max bet. That's why you have to pay attention to the game rules. You got to understand. That's an extreme example, but that's why you have to read the game rules. Understand what you are losing by. I mean, geez, man, all these people play. Every time we walk up to a top dollar grand, it's always somebody playing less than 10 credits.
And then I sit down
credits,
and
4
play,
credits,
forgot to hit max bet.
Yeah. 3 credit. It's like you cannot get the bonus unless you bet 10.
Yep.
And it's in the game rules. In fact, it's right there on the glass. And you really got to look at that stuff, because games with bonus rounds, especially, if you do not cover your bet for that bonus round, you are killing your potential return on that game, like big time. So always make sure you're covering bet. All right, that was long. I'm sorry. Hopefully that helps.
From James Hooten, Dave, what's the highest offer you've gotten on the double top dollar machine behind you? Enjoyed your phony 40 plus video bonus video. This machine, the highest offer I've gotten so far is 320 credits. And it's been good offer, and I have not seen anything like that since. Just been beating me up. I've gotten better line hits, and it is set to the highest possible. And it's.
Are you sure it is? Who did you get that from?
From you. So you.
Maybe I've been trolling you this entire time and set it really low.
Even if you set it really low, all the offers look really familiar to me. So
no, it's set at the highest. I promise you.
And so it's just been. But the line hits have been great. I've been getting some double, triple bars, double bars. I mean, I haven't gotten the 7s yet, but soon I will soon.
Yeah. All right. I'm picking all the questions that require long explanations, but I'll make this one short. So Alan says, what do you guys think of online casinos? You've probably been asked a million times. We have, and we haven't done a video either, so there is that. But curious what you think. So Dave and I are definitely on the same page as this right now. At this point, um, if you are going to play in an online casino, play at one that is a state licensed casino, and you're in a state that allows it. We're talking about Caesars, FanDuel, those kinds of games. That BetMGM, if your state allows it, and you can play on those casinos with state backed not legislation, but state commission, the state gaming commission. Those are the ones that we would recommend playing. Now, then you open the door to all the other stuff, the sweepstakes casinos, the social casinos. Um, I'm not at a point where I can recommend it. We're actually testing a couple right now, and we're actually working with the people that run them to learn more. But my confidence level just isn't quite there yet to recommend playing any of those. Maybe that'll change in the future, but as of right now, that's where I'm at. It's very ambiguous about how much oversight there is with those things, and that scares me. Right, like it's just like going to any of the legal game rooms that we have here in Texas and gas stations and stuff like that. None of that stuff is protected. Like if something happens and they say we can't pay you today, who are you going to complain to? Nobody, because there's no oversight, right? And that scares me. I would never want to gamble on something that doesn't have protection for you, the player, right? And so until we learn more about that, and then once we do, we're hoping to learn more. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we want to be encouraged and convinced that sweepstakes casinos, at least some of them, are very well protected and have structure in place to make sure that audits are being done by third parties, that there is a path to complaint and resolution of those complaints. To all those things, we are asking these questions right now.
And it doesn't automatically favor the casino either.
Right, exactly. Like we need, before we ever put a stamp on approval on any of those, we need to hear it from them and test it ourselves, which we are. Right now, we're doing it incognito. They don't know that we're doing it, but we're testing their systems to make sure, the deposits are well laid out, that we don't have any issues with, withdrawing, the gameplay, all those kinds of things. And then we'll see what comes of it. And once we do, we will do a video on it, on all of our thoughts. But we're just a little cautious, and so we want to pass that cautiousness on to you as well. If you end up playing any of the sweepstakes casinos. All right, there we go. Hope that helps, Alan.
All right. I had one here from David. I know a guy. Let's call him Eric. He is very good at winning stuffed animals, Nerf balls, fuzzy dice in the claw games at grocery stores. Can he move those skills into casino claw games? Believe it or not, it's pretty much the exact same.
Whatever.
The difference here is that on the casino claw game, it's using an RNG to decide when it's actually going to let you win. The one in the grocery store is more of a simple kind of version. One in every 50 grabs has enough strength to grab. So similarities are there. Technology is different. No, there's no useful skill that's going to help you with the casino claw games. Just getting lucky on that one spin where you happen to win. I haven't won yet. I've put maybe $100 in total, $5 at a time. Not a single win. I don't think I'm going to put any more in.
I think there was actually an inside video about the ones that you see in arcades, and you also see them in movie theaters and stuff, where it's like you have to put it through the keyhole. You know what I'm talking about? Like you raise.
Oh, yes.
You move it over, and then it goes up, and then it puts a little thing through, and you got to make it hit. They can set how many dollars have to go through that machine before it will let anybody win. Yeah. And one of the settings is 0. That is ridiculous. They can literally say it to never pay out.
Never pay out.
That's why I don't play
had
those.
One of those on there.
I never play those.
People are on the cruise ship, and it was $20 a pop to play this thing. And people are feeding in 20s like you wouldn't believe. Now, by the end of the cruise, everything had been won except for like one iPad.
That's right.
Just like, this is the true winner of the casino.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, man. A good question from Cheap Slots and Cheap Gambling. Any chance we can get you guys to do a 30-roll craps challenge with Casino Quest next time you're in Las Vegas? I'll reach out to Alex and David and see what they have going on. It's always a problem because they obviously have an actual business to run during the week as well as their YouTube channel. But if I have time on our next trip, I'll see what they're doing, and maybe we can run down and play at the place inside the Fashion Mall. Which, if you're not familiar with Casino Quest, they actually have a full structure, their casino gaming school inside the Fashion Mall on the Vegas Strip, and you can just go in at any time and learn the games. They have little great prices on these, and they're actually a great bunch of guys. I'll see if I can do that.
Well, I'm out.
You need to come too. You got to learn this stuff.
I don't know how to play craps.
I'm going to teach you. I already taught you the basic.
Yeah, you know what? I need to learn craps because somebody called me an idiot in the comments because I have a gambling channel and I don't know how to play craps.
That's the problem, is that you relate one time of gambling to another type of gambling.
It's not the same. Like
it's not the same at all. It's completely different skill sets.
I'm just maybe it's because I don't have the motivation to learn. Like I get it, but it's like, me in crowds, like craps tables are always packed,
always crowded.
And so I think I'm like this already, and it's like, I don't know.
That the bubble craps, the more I play it, the more entertaining it becomes, even though I find the most entertainment and enjoyment comes from a craps table where all the people are going around because of all the excitement and all the action. But craps is a skill. It's right up there with painting because it's not the same as like any other game. Blackjack, you have to understand basic strategy, but in craps, it's all about the different bets and all about how you're making money on those different bets and the smart bets to place. There's a lot going on. Once your brain can handle that speed, you'll find that the rest of life really does just go slowly.
Wow, that's intense. I didn't know craps was like that.
It is like that.
Oh my gosh. Excuse me. All right, so we're about halfway through right now. I just wanted to do a quick reminder for everybody that in case you are late to the stream, we are certainly helping our buddy NJ Slot Guy out today. His name is John, of course, if you don't know, and he is currently in the hospital. He's got a pretty serious disease. It's a kind of a rare one, and things are getting very costly for him right now. Even with insurance, guys, it doesn't matter. Like, this stuff gets expensive. He has to get specialists in from states over, things like that. So if you have it in you to donate, that's why we have asked for no super chats tonight, no super stickers, nothing. If you want to donate anything, please go here. It's gsgs.live/NJ. And then also I see Susan just posted the link in the chat too.
Yeah, thank you, Susan.
$1, $5, $10, whatever you feel like you're comfortable with donating, we would really appreciate it. I know he would too. We just started this today, and look where we're at. It's incredible.
Yeah. Now,
very heartwarming.
I will say this. You'll see that there's a 35K goal on there. This is how GoFundMe does it. It's actually a sliding scale. The actual goal is 100,000, but it slides it on because they believe if you sow it all at once, people don't want to donate as much. But
it's like there's no way it's going to get there, kind of thing.
It's going to get there, but no, he's doing. This is amazing to be like essentially 5, 8, 9 hours in, and to have $30,000. That's incredible. And I know this is just the first day, and there's even more to do.
And if you guys do not know who NJ Slot Guy is, make sure you go and follow his channel. He's been around for a very long time, and he has always been a pillar to this community. He helps everybody. He helped us when we had less than 300 subscribers.
Yep.
And this is a guy that is constantly giving back to everybody else. So I can't think of a better person that needs the help of the community. So thank you very much. Even if you can't donate, just your thoughts and prayers is impactful, and we really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. I want to just do a quick reminder of that in case you came in late. We do appreciate your time on that. All right, and we wish NJ well, of course.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. I saw this one just come in. So, hey, Mark and Dave, I love your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do. Made me such a better gambler. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Quick question. Does the Wheel of Fortune cash games always predetermine when you spin the wheel? So it's weighted, right? So remember that whenever you press the spin button, it pulls a number from the random number generator, and that corresponds to something that's going to be on the wheel. But you better believe that even though the wheel looks like everything is equal up there, it is not. Okay, that 1,000 credits is like the tiniest of tiny. They wouldn't be able to put a graphic on there for how hard it is to hit that
It'd be
1,000. And
a
then
hair. It'd
the
be human
15
hair.
would be this big, the 20 would be this big. You know what I mean? So it's weighted, right? But it's still random, and it's not decided until you press the spin button. You're in control of stopping the RNG, the random number generator. So it's not decided yet until you do that. But thanks so
For
much, and
me,
thanks for the
the
kind words.
25 would be like that
Yeah, I know.
because that's what hits for me.
We literally, when we play Wheel of Fortune side by side, and he'll get the bonus game, and I'll say, enjoy your 40 credits. And guess what it lands on? It
40
always
credits,
lands on 40 credits, right?
Game sucks.
So, yeah, there you go.
It's fun, though.
Yep.
From Stro Photo and Video, would love for you guys to come to MGM National Harbor. It'd be great to show you all around. We would definitely like to get over there. I've heard MGM National Harbor is absolutely beautiful. It's on our list. Our list is long, though.
Yeah,
it is definitely long. More than likely, it's probably going to be something where we fly into there on our way to somewhere else and try to schedule a long layover to be able to get there. But the one issue with National Harbor is 0 offers for stay. They are proud of their rooms.
Yeah,
but
so true.
Definitely on our list.
Marcia G says, can we find out how much percentage a slot is set at? Unless you know, Dave, shut up. Unless you know, the slot attendant and you can schmooze them into going into the menu to look. That's the only way that you're going to find out what the payback percentage setting is on the machine. No, you cannot do it by testing theories. You cannot do it by jumping around in bet sizes or doing 5 spins or 10 spins or 18 spins or put your hand on your head whenever you press the spin button or time of day or card in there or not. You cannot do any of that stuff to figure out what the return to player setting is on a machine. It cannot happen in a short term. So again, like we talk about with return to player, try not to look so much at that, but look at the volatility of the game, because the way machines are set in the casino is fairly flat, right? All the dollar machines are at 90%, all the $5 machines at 93%. I'm just throwing numbers out. Every casino is different, but that's kind of the average. But the way that these machines get to that number is very different, right? You have what's called volatility. It's risk reward. Some games like Double Diamond that we're always talking about are low risk because the top line jackpot is only 800 times your bet. But then you look at a top line jackpot of 10 times pay or Huff and even more puff or all that, and then you're talking about thousands of times your bet. Okay, so because of that, it makes it more volatile. It's going to be harder to hit those big values. And it's a give and take, right? If it's going to be a huge payout in one single spin, then they're going to take away something, which is low payouts frequently. Like you'll have more infrequent hits. And so you got to really look out for these games. Well, how do you do that? Well, there's a couple of ways. The first way is you can play the game yourself if you want to commit to betting, but bet small, right? Learn the game. Learn how frequent the bonus rounds come around, how hard it is to get the progressive. This is something that you can do in several hundred spins. Got to get a general idea. But here's what I do, which I think is really good, is leverage YouTube. Look for somebody to play that game and make sure it's a long session. Now, don't look at shorts where they're just showing you the wins and stuff like that. That's not a good indication because you don't know how much money it took to get there, right? But look for somebody to either do it in a live setting or a very long video where they're playing Huff and even more puff for 20 minutes, for example, so you can see what to expect. That's how you can really tell the best way to tell the volatility of the game. And so try to look for those ones that are, like Dave and I always say, the more boring the game is, the more likely it's lower in volatility. Like, it's not always the case, but that's a good general rule. If it's a very boring game with no bonus rounds and it's just 3 reels spinning with some noise, it may be a good game to play because of the volatility. All right. Thanks for your question.
And following on that, by Kimba Wright, some games don't have the volatility on their website. Where can you find volatility for every machine? So not every manufacturer posts volatility on their website. Also, every manufacturer uses a different metric to measure their volatility. So they're not all the same. They don't have a standard across the line measurement. I do have a video out there called Volatility for Dummies. And it's kind of like the intro. I take you from a very low volatile machine going up to high volatility, showing you what you can look at and kind of how you can gauge volatility. Volatility by itself doesn't matter as much. If I tell you Huff and Puff is high volatility, but no games besides Huff and Puff exist, then Huff and Puff is actually low volatility. Because remember, no other games exist. If only game that ever exists was Double Diamond, then every game is low volatility. There's nothing to judge it against. But since we do have a variety of games, that's how we can tell where volatility lies. If the game is fun and enjoyable to you, play it. It is nothing wrong with playing a high volatility game. I enjoy Frankenstein. I enjoy Planet Moolah. I just understand that coming into it, I'm probably not going to come out ahead. There's always a chance. That's the volatility aspect. But just don't ever think about it. That's what's going to happen.
Here's another way to think about it too, is your state lottery may be similar to the state of Texas. Has like 7 different lotteries. There's Texas two-step, there's the regular lottery, the 5-number lottery, they have the Powerball, you have the Texas
Mega Millions,
Texas Mega Millions, like all these different ones.
The 24-ball tri-millionaire sweepstakes.
So the higher the prize, the worse in volatility it is. But the lower the prize, the lower in volatility. So Texas two-step is actually probably one of the best, because I think the top prize is like $800 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's actually the best one to play in order to get some kind of return with a chance of hitting that $800. It may not be $800, but I know it's low. But if you're playing Mega Millions, and the jackpot is 900 million or even $1 billion, you better believe it's really hard to hit that, because of the number of numbers that are involved and that extra Powerball number and all that kind of stuff. So that's volatility in lottery. So it's the same thing with slot machines, right? The return is going to be the same percentage-wise, but how it gives it out is going to be a lot different. And so just try to think about that when you're walking around figuring out which game to play. Don't play the one that has the $100,000 jackpot on a $3 bet. It's going to be, it may not ever pay that out. It's highly possible it'll never pay that out. There's been stories of 10 times pay, which is 10,000 credits per one credit bet for the top line jackpot. And there's been stories of, even though that game has been around for 2 to 3 years, that it's never hit the 310 times. Never hit. It's definitely possible. The probability of hitting is so low. And so because of that, everything else sacrifices. So, all right.
But someone did hit the progressive on the Monte Carlo game at Park MGM.
Yeah.
And that game has been there for 20 plus years.
Oh, man.
It has been there since I started gambling. That machine has been there.
I remember playing that one back in the Park MGM, or not, the Monte Carlo days.
Monte Carlo, yeah.
Yeah. They had a bank.
I remember exactly where it used to be. I can picture it even
right
though
in the middle.
When you look at Park MGM now, it's really hard to picture the Monte Carlo layout. It's extremely difficult because they had that long hallway you walk down.
Yeah. I still remember there were 6 of them back to back, 3 and 3, long time ago. Anyway, that one's gone. So sad.
From Scratch Off Millions, do some Vegas casinos have a better reputation than others in terms of payout? Yes. Better payback percentages are generally your off-strip properties. South Point, Green Valley Ranch, Sam's Town, some of your downtown properties, Plaza, Four Queens, El Cortez, Downtown Grand, those generally have a little history of being better payback. Whether they are or are not is kind of debatable, but they do have a history of being better payback.
Oh, and I got corrected here. Joan Lewis says starts at 200,000. Now what is the one, Joan Lewis, that is the lowest? Like there is one that's pretty low, and I can't remember what it is. It's like all or nothing or something like that. There is one that is.
It's low. It's like pretty low. Yeah, like 400.
Yeah, I just don't. Like I said, they have like 7 or 8 different versions of lottery to play with. But I stand corrected. It's not Texas two-step. It's something else.
I don't play anything on the number side, except for Powerball and Mega Millions. And I only play those when they get to $200 million because I figure
I wait
I'm going to
until
win.
later.
I want to win 200 million.
I always wait until much later.
100 million not going to cut it for me.
I know. It's crazy how people are like that. Like it's life changing anyway. Like
it's the dumbest thing. I admit it completely, but it's like I don't want to play it until it's like 200 million.
There you go. And somebody hit
forever.
Somebody hit the class 2 progressive too.
Yeah, that jerk.
That one's gone.
I'm more upset about that than the Monte Carlo machine because I feel like I actually had a chance at the one at WinStar.
Pick
probably
3.
A low chance.
Pick 3. That's what I was thinking
Pick
about. But
3.
it's 25,000. Okay.
Dang.
Man, I grossly overestimated that or underestimated it.
It's been a long time since I played some of these games.
Yeah, Michelle says all those lotteries, but not gambling in Texas. Exactly.
No, Michelle. Yeah, choir preaching too.
That lottery.
We have a long history of gambling too. We have a long history. Texas Hold'em was literally invented here.
Yeah,
there's no gambling.
Yeah, thanks Sherman for the positive outlook on winning the lottery. Appreciate it,
Sherman.
Thanks for bringing
I
us
hope
down
to
to
be
earth,
one
Sherman.
of those people. That's my goal, is to be one
of
those people.
He already was. He's probably a lottery winner 10 years ago, and look where he is now.
Man, I can only hope.
Oh my goodness, you guys are crazy. All right, let's see. Ron Man says, Mark, watch one of your shorter videos. You talked about how you guys do stick and move. Do you consider playing the same type of machine right next to yours and still move to a different game? So we get asked this question a lot. There's no rhyme or reason to this, especially if it's the same game, because it doesn't really matter. And in fact, I was watching a video today where somebody was playing a pinball machine and they weren't hitting. And they're like, well, let's cash out and move to the one to the right. It's not going to make any difference. You know, they may get a hit right away and then suddenly they think it did, but it's not going to make any difference. So the stick and move is really about breaking up the psychological trick to chase, right? That is what sticking and moving is all about. I think that was a member only video because we never really published it, but the concept is very simple. Try to do just a couple of spins, 10, 20, whatever the case is, or $20 worth. And if you don't get anything, don't just keep putting money in. Get up and walk away and go to a different machine. It's resetting you in a way. And the longer you take to find that other machine, the better it is. And you can test this, guys. If you've ever, let's say you've had a big winning session, you've hit a hand pay, or the opposite, you've had a big losing session, go walk away and go outside for 20 minutes or 30 minutes and then come back in. You're going to notice something completely different about your mentality doing that. You're no longer going to be in this chase of, I got to keep winning. I'm on fire. I got to keep playing. I got to keep winning. Or the other way, I'm losing. I got to recover this. Let me go to the high limit room and start doing some damage in there. You know, you have to reset yourself. And that was the whole point of doing things like that. And Dave and I, especially, I mean, every casino we've ever been to, we do this constantly. We are constantly moving around. Watch our lives. You'll see what we're doing. We're always moving to other machines, especially when we start to notice a pattern of losing or a pattern of winning. We stop, we walk away and go find a different machine to play. And in Vegas especially, I don't know, Dave, you remember that last night we were there? We started off at, what was it, Excalibur?
Yeah,
and we played there, and then we walked to Luxor, and we played there, and then we walked to Mandalay Bay, played there, and then we came back, played at Luxor, came back and played, and because in all just a couple of $100, the entire trip back and forth, and that's important because you're resetting yourself, you're cooling down from either the high or the low, and I cannot stress enough how important that is, guys. It's something I noticed that I used to have a big problem with. Like I would get on a losing streak and I felt like I just needed to keep going until I got back. Or like I said on the other side too, you know, you keep winning, you think, man, I'm just on fire. I got to just keep playing everything all around me. Your brain is not in a state where it's going to listen to reason. It really is.
Yeah, for sure.
So very good comment. And yeah, it's psychological, guys. That's what, especially with slot machines, it's psychological. You better believe it is. You gotta be firm with what you're doing. All right, enough babbling on that.
Okay,
Take
from
another one, Dave.
Mike Swam. Thoughts on Gold Bar 7? I had to look this up to make sure I remember what it was because we did play this in Vegas, and I think it's like the first time I actually played it. I kind of liked it, although I will say I hit a lot of silver sevens all the way across. So that was the kind of like part. It was entertaining. However, I don't like the fact that MGM removed the top dollar grand and top dollars in replace of this. It's the same cabinet, so you can easily change out the kit. I was not a fan of this machine over that machine. It was a fun machine to play. I won on it, but at the same time, I'd rather have top dollar grand or top dollar mag.
They're going away.
I know, what the hell? They just got here.
Oh my God, another grand just got here.
From Jay, what about using a lucky charm? Do it. If it's lucky to you, I don't care if it's this pen. If you feel that this pen is giving you luck and you want to hold it in your hand while you're playing, absolutely do that. Whatever it is that gives you a feeling of that lucky feeling, whatever.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Do it. Just do it. Don't worry how odd it is. You've seen people at bingo games with their troll dolls and everything. Don't set up troll dolls on the blackjack table.
Yeah, they set them all up. They've got like beads around the slot machine and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, don't go that far, but absolutely. Lucky charm. I have several lucky charms. And sometimes when I have one on me and it doesn't work, I throw it in my bag and it doesn't come back with me.
I still have the lucky charm that you remember when we were in Jackpot, where the nice lady at the card center or the player's card gave us that little. I still have it in my bag.
Still have it in your bag?
So
I still have in my bag.
Yeah, you got everything in your bag. Though.
I know, I got everything.
You don't even know what's in there.
It was Katie or Michelle or Donna gave us those little hearts.
Oh yeah,
that were engraved. Yeah, one of you gave us those hearts. I still have them in my bag. So, and I'll say absolutely, that's the reason why.
That's the lucky stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yes, sir. All right, let's see. Oh, there's a good one. Odd question. What slot universe would you want to be trapped in? Example, Huff and Puff. Top dollar.
Okay.
All the versions of Top Dollar are all around me.
Yeah.
Everyone that's ever come out, so I can play any of them.
Now, how about this? Mark's slot hell would be nothing but 5 times and 10 times machines.
Yeah.
He would never be able to get the top line jackpot.
It would either be that or Planet Moolah with all the mooing going on.
You like Planet Moolah now.
No. Oh, man.
They're playing and you got the Unical bonus.
Follow up to that question. I take a lap around the casino between wins or losses. Good for you.
Good.
So you understand what that's doing, which is great. I think everybody should do that. Very, very good for you. Love that. Let's see.
There's one over here.
Okay.
From So Twix. Do you think they'll ever update the single line VGT payout? 3 single bars for $10 doesn't feel rewarding anymore. Well, I mean, that's the payout for single bars on a certain pattern for bingo. So that's just kind of the way it is. It's like Double Diamond. They're never gonna change that pay line out there. However, the thing is that anytime you match single bars, you have the chance at a red spin. So that's kind of why they don't change those, and they won't change those because of the extra that you're getting from the red spins.
Yeah, and on the like Mr. Moneybags and Crazy Bill and those games, if you get a red screen with 3 single bars, that is the win immediately preceding the 3 doubles.
Yeah,
because it's corporal stripes. So it's private stripes for the single bars and then corporal stripes right after that. So that's when it gets exciting, when you get the 3 single bars and it's still red.
You're like, come on, because you just get cherry and mixed bars, and you're just like, finally get the single bars,
7
like it
credits.
could happen.
It's like it could happen.
But you want it to
Yep.
hit the double 7 before it hits the
Yeah,
three
you want
double.
it to, oh man, I still remember that at Choctaw, that run you had on that 5 line.
That was
You hit,
nuts.
dude, you were hitting like you hit
It was going. It was just
you hit
going.
3, you hit like basically every combination. You hit 3 double bars, 3 triple bars, 3 sevens, and then 2 sevens and a double, and then 2 doubles and a 7, and then you hit the 3 doubles. It was like,
it was
what
crazy.
Crazy run on that thing.
I
All
made
right.
more from those red spins than I did from the three doublers at the end.
That's true. That's true. Good point. Good point. All right. Silver Strike is so fun. Love the coins. Yeah, Michelle, I agree.
Here's one from Julius. Any trips planned for Tahoe in the future? We want to get to Tahoe. Absolutely. Would very much like to get back to Lake Tahoe. I've not been in many, many years. Mark was there, fairly recently, 2 years ago. It's definitely on the trip plan. And I'd really like to go when it's snowing, just because
Oh yeah,
Tahoe during the winter is nice.
it's nice in the summer too.
I would even like to take a quick trip to Reno from Tahoe. Maybe stay in Tahoe, but a quick trip to Reno, just because we're trying to track down an influencer in Reno to see if we can meet up with them and get some great info from them.
Whatever. You're nuts. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up there. That was a good solid hour of questions. Really do appreciate you guys. On the way out,
thank you, everyone.
Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And if you still have time or consider it, please donate to NJ. We really do appreciate everybody doing that tonight. Thank you so much. It really means the world to us.
I appreciate every single one of you who's already donated. And please spread that link around. Share it with others. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. Really do appreciate it. All right, shout out to you, NJ. Hope you're watching this. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We miss you.
Feel better, brother.
Hope you get better.
Absolutely.
Guys, thank you so much. Gamble smart.
Gamble safe.
We'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
Have a good one, gang.
Bye-bye.